Welcome everyone. Welcome to the creating disk image on the Linux machine part of this course, computer hacking for and forensic investigation. As you have seen how to create the image of a disk of a media storage media basically on Windows machine, but what about Linux machine? So in case if you want to basically if the suspected machine is Linux operating system, then then there are tools available that can be used to basically achieve the task. So we have discussed Windows. What about Linux operating system? You can basically create the disk image in Linux operating system 2 or even in Mac operating system 2. Just like Windows, you need to follow some specific patterns, command, technique, process and methodology to create the disk image or image of a disk, of a media disk basically, or storage media. Okay, well, when I say the image of a disk, it means to create the image of a storage media or a device where you can store your media, your files, the content, the digital files and data files folder and other things. By the way, DD is the command line utility to create an image of a storage media. Since I'm basically using Kali Linux at this time, and Kali Linux has already already has the following important tools that used to create the disk image. DD is the command and utility, while DFL DD is the advanced version or is the extended version of DD to achieve the same function, but there are some more the features are available. For example, you can verify the created disk image by using the one more thing. All right, sorry about it. Well, you can basically create the MD5 hash and the SHA1 hash to verify the disk image, to maintain the integrity of the data, since as discussed it is very important. You can even split the large file into multiple chunks as we have discussed while taking image by using FTK imager tool. So without taking without wasting a time, which I'm going to do the practical so that you will get an idea of how to perform the imaging process in Linux machine. Open your terminal. This is very important. You need to open your terminal. Here I wrote the command. I wrote the steps, the process, the creating the disk image process, so that you will get a better idea. First of all, you need to identify the partition. What type of partition and how many partitions are there in the Linux machine, in the current Linux machine that you are analyzing at the moment. F-L is the command that you do to analyze the partition, the list of partition. Right. Well, you need to basically understand the file system or Linux file system. Linux basically has the extended ext file system, while the Windows machine has the FAT NTFS file system. So there is a difference between them. Usually the SDA1, SDA2 from SDA3 and 4 are usually the Linux partition, Linux file system. It says the Linux file system. It is also the Linux file system, and this one is also the Linux file system. While another disk is here, the dev./sdb 8004 MB, which is equivalent to 8 GB, 32 head, 21 sector track. If you basically study the computer forensics in depth, then you will understand the definition and the work structure of the hard drive and any physical drive, what heads is, what about the sectors, tracks, cylinders, and there are many other important information like the crystal and many things out there. So it says that DB132 block there is the file system is FAT32, which is Windows file system. So this partitions are belongs to Linux, while this one seems a USB drive. SDB is a USB drive where the size of the USB drive is 8 GB. So the next step is to check this system file and space. This command is an extended command which basically provide more information about the file system and the available space, so you need not to worry about it. You will get the information. Here we go. Here you can see this is a 500 GB drive, SDA drive, which is the hard drive. Hard drive has been further divided into the logical sectors. 3 logical sectors have been created. File system ext4, which is the Linux file system, which again it is extended Linux file system, Linux web file system, logical drive. While there is another model which is Can Cruiser Blade, which is the USB. It is 8 GB USB. Here you can see the end file, the size, the primary, and the file system is FAT32. So we have successfully identified the partition. There are 3 partitions based on the Linux file system, while the one partition is actually created on the Windows machine. So it has the FAT32 file system. After the process, you need to create a folder and mount basically the drive that you want to take the image of in the folder. Mounting in Linux means that you want to work on the particular drive, you want to open the drive. So MNT is the folder, is the Linux file system folder. Here you can see this is the Linux file system folder. If here you can see this, these all are the Linux file system architectural folder where root, run, opt, lib or library, bin, and there is an mnt2. So I'm going to create a folder here, and I'm not gonna do this by this technique. I'm going to follow the terminal, and I'm going to do all this thing on the command line function. So sudo mkdir is the make directory. This is the basic command that you must have basically read before, and you must have used it before. Make directory /mnt means in the folder, in this particular folder the directory name is example. You may have the other name of the directory because it totally depends on individual. I am taking the directory name example here. So let me do this. mk directory mnt example, execute it. Here you can see in the folder mnt there is a folder example now. Alright, so what is the next step? In the next step you need to mount a drive. As I said that this is SDB. We need to mount the SDB into mnt example folder. Sudo mount where as dev /sdb / sorry, not space, mnt /example. Mount is already mounted or is busy. Alright, it is already mounted. Yes, because you know before making this video I tested the commands and I mounted it. So since you have not mounted it yet, then you will execute the command easily. So it doesn't it is not very difficult at the moment. And then you need to create another folder within the example folder, and in another folder you need to store the file for your analysis for the case. Alright, in the case the example folder there is a case. Let's move further. Since you have basically you almost basically did everything, if you want to store the details of the things that of the commands and the processes that we have just executed, you should note the note every detail, because you know sometimes you need these information for documentation for purpose. So just fdex mnt example case fdex.txt. So the command the output of fdex will be saved in this particular file. Here you can see the output has been stored here, and fsdb is the flash drive or the USB drive. Alright, output is stored there, don't worry about it. So right, so this is the main command that you need to execute. Let me explain it first. dcfldd, as discussed, that that I'm gonna use this the advanced version of dd, which is the command line utility. It says use this command if whereas the drive, the USB drive is this. If you want to take the image of any other partition, then you need to mention the name of the other partition, whether it is SDA, SDA1, SDA2 or whatever. MD5 hash, what kind of hashes or verification technique that you want to use. Here I've mentioned the MD5 hash and the SHA-256 encryption, which is far better than SHA-1. Hash window size and MD5 log, where you need to basically store the log. Well, I've created a folder on my root. Root is actually, let me show you again. In your file system there is a folder, root folder. Root folder is where you got have all the basically have all the files stored. As you can see, it is my root folder. I have many things out there. Alright, so I've created a folder in the root with the name image to get the image information. So I'm gonna use, let me image and then slash. So I want to store the MD5 log in the root in the image directory. File name should be md5.txt. And what about SHA-256 log? I want to store this particular log on root image folder with the file name sha.txt. And after okay, alright, after this conversion, no error, synchronization. Okay, I want to store the output this image in the same location, so I'm gonna use this. So this is the complete command that needs to be executed. Copy and press enter. Alright, it's working. It's writing the block, it's taking the copy, the exact copy, which is the basically what I say, which is basically the image of this particular drive, of the USB drive. So this process will also take time, because it needs to create the structure, it needs to copy the structure as well as the content of the drive. So it will take a time, but it will finish the job. You will have the disk image in your image folder. Here you can see that it is working at the moment. MD5 hashes are there, the output SHA-256 file out there. I'm not gonna open it at the moment because it is currently working, it is writing. So we will analyze it once it's done. So alright, it seems that it has basically created a disk here, and let me open the folder. Here you can see this file. The dd file is 8 GB file. There is an MD5 hash, the information. Okay, here we go. This is the MD5 total accumulated or created basically hash. This is the output, and we have also got the SHA-256 hash computed, has also been computed here, which is strong. Well, this is the process. This is how you create the image of a media storage drive or disk in a Linux environment. So till now we have discussed the Windows environment, the Linux environment, of how to create a disk image. And now in the next chapter you will see to analyze the basically the image in Linux environment. We will examine and analyze the image by using Autospy and the other tools out there. So see you in the next chapter. Till time, take care, bye.